Hey everybody, good evening. Welcome aboard. Happy Tuesday night edition of the live listing show. Due to circumstances beyond anybody's control, we are on a Tuesday night. Hopefully it's not inconvenient for anybody. And I appreciate anybody who stops in tonight, says hi, and joins the festivities. What's up, Mark? Mark, already concerned about something? Uh-oh. What's going on, Mark? Hope all is well. Hey, Karen. How you doing? Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming in. Hi, CJ. Happy Tuesday is right. Exactly. What's wrong with shaking it up now and then, right? I've said it before. You don't want to be too predictable in life. So instead of just getting the Monday thing going, which, by the way, is going to shortly revert to a potential Monday and Friday thing again, all things being equal. We'll see what happens. But the gig season is definitely slowing down right now for me. So might be able to get back on that Monday, Friday thing. In this case, Tuesday, Friday. We'll see what's going on Friday. I don't know that we have anything going on, so maybe we'll be back on Friday. Oh yeah, they're not you. They're not us. It's you. Not us. It's you. That's funny. Yeah, I thought that was a kind of witty little wallpaper to put up. I do see that once in a while. Not as much as I used to. At least it doesn't seem that way. Whether that's to do with eBay in general, just tidying up and getting things under control, I'm really not sure, but I don't see that message too often. Sometimes I'll see it if I do a whole bunch of edits or something like that, like one of those mass edits to a pricing or something like that. You'll see that error pop up now and then. But all in all, things on eBay, as far as from a systems perspective, everything seems to be going pretty swell for me. I don't see the error page often. Nothing crazy, no crazy glitches, at least in my universe. You could let me know if that's different in yours. Sales. It's a tale of two stores for me. I have a clothing store. It's a few months old, which is doing very well. I have my traditional store, which I, use all the time on the YouTube shows and stuff with the mostly ephemera, which is not doing very well for whatever reason, just not a lot of buys on the items. It's okay. It's a long tail product that I find myself in. And I know not to expect things to fly off the shelves, but it's more of a passion play than anything else. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking about this stuff. So away we go. I'm going to continue to list like we've all been told to do. And I'm a big fan of doing that. So tonight we will be listing some exciting news from a magazine perspective. We have a new magazine and we have a new decade. For the first time ever on this program, and first time ever, I'm pretty positive for my listing on eBay. We're going to do a 90s magazine, folks. That's right. Even Dawn Wright, if she shows up, might remember this. So that shows you how recent this stuff is. We're going to get into the 90s with the magazine. And I'll get into the details in just a second about that. It's going to be fun. It's still just advertisements at the end of the day, but it's a new magazine and a new decade. Hi, Susan. How you doing? Welcome aboard. Thanks for stopping in. What's up, Keith? How you doing? Good to see you, man. I appreciate you guys coming in to party with me here. Print ad style. Great decade, huh? That's good. Yeah, 1990. So we're just in the beginning. It's a February 1990 issue of a specific publication. And the reason behind my choice for this evening's listing show was incredibly spontaneous. I was cleaning out some completely unrelated stuff. I was just making some room down here like I always seem to be doing. I work in our basement and just, as always, trying to organize inventory and things. I have the other store, so I'm trying to make more room for that stuff because the ephemera stuff, I have good systems as far as inventory, cataloging, all that good stuff. So it's basically just been a migration process where I'm trying to consolidate paper, put it all in one spot, leaving me more room for clothing, things like that, which obviously takes up a whole lot more room than a postcard would, right, Mark? But anyway, so in so doing, I came across just my own box of magazines that I've had. Like I play guitar forever, so I have tons of guitar magazines. I listed one today, a British guitar magazine. And I'm scrolling through these things and I realized, wait a minute, I'm always preaching about, any magazine is going to have advertisements. So sure enough, I pulled out an issue of the Rolling Stone with my boy Macca on it, Paul McCartney issue from 1990. And I just saw the cover. I kept it. I, would buy Rolling Stone all the time. And it's just been sitting there in a box for 30 years now, whatever it's been. And I looked at it and I'm like, well, so I took the cover off. I had, took the article out with McCartney. I said, I never really checked out a Rolling Stone to try to find ads. And sure enough, like I always preach, every magazine is going to have lots of good ads, and this was no exception. So we're going to have some fun tonight listing. I don't know. There's not that many. There's maybe like 15, 14, something like that. A relatively small amount of ads, but from an issue of Rolling Stone from 1990. So hope you guys enjoy that. We'll get started very shortly. We'll whistle through them and hopefully have some fun. Hey, Beth, how you doing? You tried some 90s surfing magazines. You thought the ad would be good sellers, but nobody seems to care yet. I guess that's always a potential, right? But good to have you on the show, Biff. Thanks for coming in. What is up? Blue Feather Ephemera. Greg is here. Hope you're doing well, sir. Yep. Have you ever dabbled in 90s magazines yet? Greg, this is my first foray into something as recent as this. I have 1890s, and now we're doing 1990s. So it should be a lot of fun. Being Rolling Stone magazine, you would think it would be like a lot of musical stuff, and yeah, there's an ad or two that has, musicians or musical equipment, things of that ilk. But the rest of it is basically just like any other magazine. Well, you'll have ads for cars, ads for booze, ads for cigarettes, all that kind of stuff. I did find, speaking of cigarettes, I'll share this when we get into the listing part, but a whole pull-out poster. Try to remember the dimensions. 28 by 20, I'm pretty sure it was. So, pretty substantial poster for Camel cigarettes. Really nice, in perfect condition. It was just an insert in this issue. So I'm going to sell that separately because it's not a print ad. It's an actual poster. But the way that they package it was pretty unique. So I'll show everybody that. And we'll list it. We'll just list it under a different category than print advertising, I think. I'm going to look for like posters or something. But that was pretty cool and a real big surprise. Really cool. The character, the camel, he has like sunglasses and stuff. Been around forever. It used to be in Times Square. They'd have a camel smoking famously for decades. So yeah, traditional stuff, cars, booze, things like that, just like any other magazine. So hopefully it'll be fun. The only 90s magazines you've listed so far. George. Okay, cool. Yeah. I remember when George came out, I bought the first issue. Everybody was all hyped up about it. Cindy Crawford on the cover. Hey now. Cool. Yeah, so hopefully it'll be fun. It'll be a little something different, at least for me. It'll be the first time listening to Rolling Stone. So my SKU is going to say RS1 for Rolling Stone, number 1. I have a whole box of them. So maybe there's like 50 Rolling Stone magazines that, again, they were just my personal magazines long before I ever conceived of, long before eBay actually, but long before I ever conceived of doing this kind of stuff. And I just decided, hey, what the heck, unless it's an issue I really cherish, which honestly, I don't think I have any that I cherish. And if I like the artist that's on the cover, which is why I would usually buy them, or I liked one of the articles, or if they had like some, even if it wasn't on the cover, if it had like George Harrison was featured in the magazine somewhere, I would buy it, So I have Zeppelin ones, I have Robert Plant. But yeah, I think I'm just going to kind of keep the covers, keep any articles that I like, and start looking at the ads, because that's like a whole new 50, 60 magazines times, 500, 600 new ads I could be listing that are all going to be, in my case, from the 80s and early 90s. So it'll be fun and interesting to get some more recent stuff up compared with the advertising I usually get up, just to mix it up. So then I have in fact, it's so new that I didn't even have a category set up. My newest category for print ads was 80s. So I had to create a 90s one. So hope you guys are doing well. It is the middle of October, almost exactly the middle of October already. Chill is in the air here in the Northeast. We got into the 30s upper 30s last night. When I had that show a week and a half ago in Maine, it was in the 30s there already, and the trees were beautiful. Like, it was full bloom up there, completely different than down here. Color is starting to come into some of the trees now, but in Maine, it was absolutely beautiful, really, really pretty. Took a bunch of videos like a tourist and pictures like a tourist, because the foliage was just absolutely stunning up there, beautiful. And it was like 20 degrees colder than it is down here. But now we're catching up rapidly. I'm sure it's like that for most of you guys. I saw most of the country is in this cold front now, so I guess summer's over, folks, for real this time, and fall is here, and hopefully good times will be short to follow from a sales perspective. Up till now, I haven't really had a great October at all in the ephemera store, so hopefully that'll change. I just keep listing, though. So I know that's the only way I know how to cure it, right? Yeah, I know. But let me tell you, when January hits in Chicago, brother, let me tell you, chill is in the air. Mark, I still don't know if I think I told you last time. I don't know if we're going out there this winter. I'd love to go back. I hope it's not in January. No offense. Maybe we'll go back. I think we're leaning towards spring. One of my bandmates is expecting their first baby the end of January, actually on my birthday, which is pretty crazy. But that's just a tentative date. It's not guaranteed. So a week or two, week after, something like that. So I think we're going to be on a hiatus for a good part of January and actually in February too. So that should preclude us from getting out there for sure in those frigid months. But maybe I think come March we're going to pick it back up. Maybe we'll be out there in March again. Mark, I'll let you know for sure. And Keith, the couple of guys I've seen on the tour this year. Yeah, I'm sure it is, man. I think I told you when I met you, right? The first time I had been to Chicago was in 1990, actually. Went out with a friend of mine. We went to a Mets series. By the way, let's go Mets. Went to a Mets series against the Cubs and saw Wrigley Field. It's absolutely beautiful. At the time, it was still the old Comiskey. Went to Comiskey. They were building the new Comiskey. And we went up to Milwaukee County Stadium because it was only like an hour drive north, hour and a half drive. Big baseball guy, especially then I was. And we went out there and we hit all those stadiums. And it was July. And it was scorching hot in Chicago, like blazing hot. And then, 6, 7, whatever it is now, 9 months ago, it was 0 degrees. And -5 or something like that in the evening while we were performing. So one extreme to the other. I've never seen spring or fall in Chicago. So maybe we will be there next spring. Listing 56 Sports Illustrated during the show. Very cool. Nice. You finding a lot of cool ads in there? Hope you are. They're asking to build a new White Sox stadium already? Give me a break. Just got one. Spoiled brats. Wrigley's been there since what, 1912, I think, something like that. Beautiful park, though, I must admit. It was absolutely beautiful. And that was the first year, Mark, you probably remember well, where they had the first night game. And Wrigley was that year. After, 80 years of never having a night game, they finally gave in. But I remember very well, it was so hot. It was like 98 degrees or something, even on that lake. And then, in January this year, it was -5. One extreme to the other. Yeah, that's what the governor's probably saying. Yeah. I mean, come on, give me a break. If Wrigley can last 100 years, I think Comiskey can last 30, or whatever it's been. Wrigleyville area. I don't know that they called it that. But I did see, what's his name? Harry Carey was still alive. I saw him sticking out of the booth. I have that on video. I had a big old RCA video, Panasonic video camera that I brought on that trip, and I have all the videos from it. It was really, really nice. We got to see that, which was very cool. There was a bar right across the street, I remember. It might have even been called Harry Carey's. I forgot. But what was really nice is we got in very early for one of the games, and we were right over the Mets dugout. So I got to record all the batting practice, and you'd see the guys come like right up close. Darryl Strawberry was still on the team, and Gooden and all that. It was great. You had an office near the Cubs ballpark? Very cool. Yeah, I'd love to go back out there. I'm sure it's changed in 34 years. It's hard to believe, man. God almighty. What? What is this, Keith? Yeah. Who? Yeah, good luck to you boys, man. But let's go Mets. I mean, they've been the best team in baseball since June 1st. I love the way that I love the underdog role. I'm a big fan of it. But all you hear on all the sportscasts, the Mets who were barely snuck in and backdoored their way in, had the best record in baseball since June 1st. They started off horribly. I guess that's why they're saying this. But they've been the best team in baseball for 4 months. So, yeah, I would sign for that. We're all hoping for Mets Yankees, the Subway Series again, because that's like the dream since I'm a kid. They had it in 2000, but I was so angry with that series. We won't discuss that one. Roger Clemens and whatnot. But in the 70s, they used to have a thing called the Mayor's Trophy game, and it was the only time the Mets and Yankees would play each other. It was a very, very special event before they had the interleague stuff. And now it's like old hat, because everybody's playing everybody, but good stuff. What's up, Jeff? How you doing? Welcome aboard. Welcome to the show. Thanks for popping in. 7:16. We'll give it like 5 more minutes, and we will start listing. Just want to get some chat in, see how everybody's doing. When I'm not on for a while, I miss seeing all you guys and talking with you. So it's very nice to catch up and see what everybody's doing. And personally and professionally, if you care to share either one of them. I'm trying to think what else is of note here. Like I said, we'll probably go back to a 2-a-week schedule. Haven't done a proper video, like a regular video, in a long time. I did tease this last time because I was going to do it, but I never did. A lot of health stuff going on, as we all know, with me, my in-laws, my dad. Oy vey, everybody's falling apart. So because of that, I haven't really sat down and edited, but I did film some footage of, it was a series of print ads that all sold for over $15. So relatively higher end. It was 15 or 20. I think it was 15. I had to lower the bar to 15, but 15 plus print ads. So I'll release that at some point. I'm not going to promise it anymore because I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm going to attempt to get it out. I might be able to get it out this week because tomorrow I have more doctor visits for my in-laws. But Thursday I'm wide open. So maybe Thursday I'll take the 10 minutes it's going to take to edit this video and get it out there. Hopefully you guys would see that. There's a couple of pretty decent sales there. They go back a few weeks now, but nevertheless, good print ad sales, all north of $15. So I'll release that probably Thursday. Look for it on Thursday, latest Friday. And maybe we'll get back together on Friday night and just hang out and chat. Or maybe we'll list some more. We'll see. We'll see what the wind brings. Miss Elizabeth, welcome to the show. Used to go to the Yankees game with his dad. They paid $1 ticket. Yeah, I'm sure. They used to have at Shea. They used to have for double headers, man. Maybe $5, $4 used to be able to go in. My mom would pack a lunch. She would make like fried chicken and stuff, and we'd go in and get to watch double headers and stuff. This was like early mid 70s. It was a lot of fun. I miss Shea Stadium a lot. That was another one. It was only 30 years old. 30. Yeah, no, 30. How old? 64? No, it was about 40 years old, I guess. 45 years old when they went to the new stadium. And I thought that was completely unnecessary. But everybody was getting, it started with Baltimore, I think, with Camden Yards, which I was at the first game for, by the way. Mets versus Orioles, first official game at Camden Yards, 1992. And went to that game, which was right after the Hall of Fame, which I went to, too, in Cooperstown when Tom Terrific, my baseball idol, who sadly has passed away. It's still shocking for me. But anyway, we went to his induction in Cooperstown, and then we went to a ball game, Camden Yards. Sid Fernandez started, El Cid, against the Orioles. So that's kind of started the trend with the new ballparks when they built Camden Yards. Even though it was like built retro, it smoked, what was it, Memorial County Stadium was a dump in Baltimore. So that kind of started the trend, and everybody started wanting to have these new stadiums and, the heresy of a new Yankee Stadium. That's another thing. I can't believe they knocked down Yankee Stadium. It's messed up. You live in BFE? Don't know what BFE is. You could drive 4 hours to see the Reds or 5 hours to see the Braves. Those are the closest teams. Oh, cool. How's my back treating me? CJ, it's a nightmare, quite frankly. Thanks for asking, though. I have 3 new herniated discs that they found, so the one I had the surgery on in February was removed, and I have the fusion there, which I still have. Tomorrow is going to be 8 months, so I still have 4 months till that heals, and I'm trying desperately not to need surgery on the other 3. But thank you very much for asking. So it's very painful, unfortunately. Just been cursed with a lousy back. They had a great deal this year in Cleveland, $50 a month for every home game, standing room only. Oh, that is very cool. Wrigley, the first night we had tickets, it wound up being a 5-game series because there was a rain out. So they backed into it. It was July. So anyway, the first night we had tickets for the 4 games, but since they added a rain out game, we didn't have tickets for it. And in Wrigley, they had a standing room only section. It was kind of right in the middle. I think it was great to be in Wrigley, but I was aggravated because it was kind of in the back and you had the overhang of the deck above you. So you really couldn't see well, but we were just kind of excited to be in Wrigley Field, sanctity of baseball. Not a Cub fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I certainly respect the ballpark and the history and all that stuff. So it was an honor to be the Mets won 4 out of 5 games, by the way. So it was sweet. Yeah, it does, man. It's awful. Does that seriously mean that? That's pretty funny. You always found open seats? Nice. Yeah, I never made it to Cleveland. Cleveland has a new ballpark too. Trying to think. At the time, around late 80s, early 90s, I was in my Adonis period, like mid-20s, and would travel all over the place and and I was a ball player myself, and we aspired to try to hit every major league ballpark in America, but fell rather short. Like I saw Dodger Stadium, but we didn't get into the park because the Dodgers weren't away when we were out there, so that was frustrating. I saw San Diego. I saw San Francisco, Candlestick. That was the worst. I've never been to Seattle, so I've never been up there. I always wanted to see the Kingdome. In the Midwest, sort of, we saw Wrigley. It was called Milwaukee County Stadium before they built the new park, which was actually a nice little stadium. Bob Uecker was the announcer. Comiskey, of course, the old Comiskey, which looked like a White Castle building, if anybody remembers that. I've been to St. Louis, been to Pittsburgh, been to Philadelphia, Shea, Yankee Stadium, Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. So we saw a fair amount, but I didn't hit them all. I've never been down to Texas been to Texas, but never to any of the ballparks. So we'll see. I don't think that's unfortunately something that's going to happen at this stage of life anymore, but it was still fun. I'm grateful for the parks we did get to see. I used to be I still love the Mets, of course, but when I say fanatic, folks, like we drive all over the country to see them play. So absolute fanatic. And now, of course, that they're in the playoffs and doing so well, I'm all fired up again. So it's a lot of fun. It's the only sport I care about. Susan says the Oakland A's moving is really sad. Yeah, never been out, never saw that ballpark. Excuse me. It's another one I missed. You were at the new Milwaukee Stadium last week during a work trip. We thought it was nice. Yeah, I haven't seen Mets just, destroyed them. So I've seen it on TV a few times, but I've never been out there. What is the new one? It's probably called, I forgot what it's called. It's probably a bank or something, right? You watch ping pong or pickleball? I don't know what pickleball is. I keep hearing people talking about it, but I don't really know what it is. It's like a form of tennis, I think. Not really. All right, guys, you ready to rock and roll? Want to do some listings? Rolling Stone, from the cover of Rolling Stone. Your wife plays pickleball 3 to 4 times a week. Cool. Miller Park, now it's American Family Stadium. Yeah, whatever. All right, guys, let's roll. I'm in the mood to list. I got to get some listings going. And then we'll wrap it up, and maybe we'll be back on Friday for a longer show. I'm just it's been a day. It's been a life, but it's been a couple of months with the health nonsense. It wears on you, And I do have to be up early and chauffeur my in-laws to their doctor appointments tomorrow. My father-in-law not doing very well suddenly, and you know how it is. If you know, you know. All right, let's quit our crying and let's do some listing, because that's what we're here for. And I'll go down there. Ooh, isn't that cool? I'm in a circle now. That's a new... I got to see if I could get the circle into the corner. Nah, you can only do a full circle. That stinks. That's something new that they rolled out. They being StreamYard. All right, let's go to our eBay screen, to the drafts. There are the drafts. Hey, Maria, how you doing? No, you're not. Actually, you could not have timed this better. We have just opened up our eBay screen as you arrive. So welcome to the show. Perfectly timed. We are going to be listing some ads. Quick look, we have 19. I don't know if we'll do all 19, but we will aspire to do as many as we can. All right, so away we go. First ever issue from the 90s for me coming up. This is the issue, February 90 Rolling Stone magazine. A little bit smaller. It's a 12-inch tall magazine by 10-inch wide. So somewhat smaller than the other magazines. Otherwise, it's still just a magazine advertisement. CJ say, Mark, that's good conditioning for the snow shoveling she'll be doing. Exactly. Got to get her in shape now, man. It's only going to get colder. All right. First ad up for your consideration is for Clearasil. The acne pads, I guess, is all they're called. Well, I'll look it up. We'll zoom in and see what they're called exactly. I think they're just called acne pads, right? I think that's what I'm going to put. Acne pads. If anybody has any other better words they suggest, please let me know. Otherwise, we're going to go with acne pads. Health and beauty. Sure, why not? Personal care products, why not? Multicolor original, Clearasil. This is a printed. And I'm sorry for banging the microphone. The arm is like right by my keyboard. I need to move that. Because I'm sure it sounds like dong. 90, blah, 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 blah. Everything else is the same. Cool. All right, let's take a look at this amazing piece of paper. A couple of teens down there. Face burning pads. Yeah, really. Double clear. Makes the leading pad just half a pad. So the double thickness. They absorb more of that acid or whatever it is that they put on there. Don't really know if there's much to say here. We'll put double clear. Why not? Should I put teenagers? Yeah, I'll put teenagers. What else? What else would you guys put? Let me take a swig of water and discuss amongst yourselves. Come up with some interesting keywords for me. What do you guys got? The skin that makes a clear first impression, it says down below. I do like Mark's suggestion. Facial cleanser. Love it. Facial cleanser, says Susan. Yes. Thank you. I like it. I like it a lot. Look at that. Now we're up to 72 characters. I think that's good. Pimple burning pad. Yeah, exactly. Facial acid. Anyway, Biff says zits. Sure. You know, you laugh, but how about pimples? You could say pimples still, right? Is that one of the words that everybody's taken down yet? I don't know. You never know. I joke, but at this point in time, who knows? You can't say pimple. It's a facial blemish. Whatever, folks. Whatever. All right, 80. Look at that on the button. Thank you for this, Susan, with this tremendous one. Facial cleanser. I love that. So we got all of our 80 characters. I think we're ready to release this one to the interwebs to see what happens. What do you think? One down. Boom. We start off nice and easy. Read similar. We ease into the show. Don't want to rock anybody's world too early. All righty. One down. Let's see if we have any other personal care products. We do. We have Head and Shoulders Dry Scalp. Champagne. No, shampoo. And it looks like there is a shampoo. Well, cosmetics and hair care is all we'll live because that's advertising. And that is exactly what we're doing. Okay. Sorry about that. Head and Shoulders. Printed. Okay, we will take a look at this one. I think it's just a guy in the shower, basically. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The world doesn't need another shampoo, but your scalp might. It's true. It's true. Yep, it's a guy in the shower. Well, he's not really in the shower, is he? He's just standing there with a towel strung over his shoulder with completely dry hair, which makes no sense. I'll put shower. Towel. This is going to be a really quick one. Let's do Earth, since we got an image of the planet, our beloved planet Earth. That's it on that one, too. We're racing through, I promise you. We're doing a real listing show tonight, like I would list normally. 2 seconds. Dandruff, says Susan. Egads. I put dandruff shampoo, I think, in my title. I put dry scalp. Good call, though. I'll add dandruff to that. We'll go back in after. Maria says he had to take off his shirt for the flakes. Yeah, I thought he was in the shower. See how that's strategically placed with the splash of water and all that stuff? But dag nabbit, he wasn't in the shower. All right, so hopefully that's the end of the personal care products for this evening's festivities. Let's see. There's that poster. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. All right, that's it for personal care products. Let's go to, this is cool, Dizzy Gillespie for Gap. I don't know if it's jeans. It might just be the Gap store. We'll have to look at this one. Put advertising for clothing. And in my store, we'll put clothing as well. And we will put brand Gap and 90. All right, let's take a look. Legendary Dizzy. Let's blow this one up. Take a look what's going on. If it's for jeans or just clothes in general. He's got a license plate thing on there that says Lorraine. It's interesting. Full blown when it happens, fast and smooth and cool, hot and all at once. Classic Gap. The Gap, yeah, the store. All right, so we have the mock turtleneck as worn by Dizzy Gillespie. Oh, Herb Ritz, legendary photographer who did a lot of photography for Rolling Stone. Famously did spreads with Cindy Crawford, with, what's her name, Janet Jackson did a Herb Ritz. A lot of people did Herb Ritz. That's a cool image. So it's a Gap shirt, right? Mock turtleneck. So let's go. Nobody's going to search Gap mock turtleneck, but we'll put it over here. Mock turtleneck sweater. Put like, hey, there she is. What's up, Dawn? I'll put jazz legend. Trumpet. Unless Susan has something better. Because she's 2 for 2. She come up with the dandruff. She come up with the facial cleanser. What's up, Dawn? We joked at the beginning of the show that we're dealing with a magazine so recent, you might even remember it. Rolling Stone from 1990. The first 90s magazine, Dawn. Anybody have anything else on this one? I think it's a pretty cool one. I know Karen thinks it's pretty cool. She's with it. She's hip. And because it's Dizzy Gillespie, and you don't see Dizzy Gillespie on ads too often, do you? Oh, come on. But at least you were. Just the fact that you existed is a positive thing. You think we're good, Susan? Let me know. Susan ES. I think it's good. I think throwing in the trumpet and the jazz legend is kind of cool. Hopefully people will be collecting Mr. Gillespie. He only died a few years later, I think. 93-ish. All right, there's number 3 listed already. Looks good. Thank you, Susan. If Susan gives you the green light, folks, you're good. You're right about dandruff, though, and I will go back and edit that because, like, it was called dry scalp, but of course, synonymous with dandruff shampoo is Head and Shoulders, right? All righty. Let's see what we got next. Got Gillespie. Do we have any other clothing ads? We do. Legendary ad here for Guess Jeans. Claudia Schiffer. These were very famous ads, obviously. It had Cindy Crawford again. We've mentioned Cindy Crawford about 29 times tonight, but she did Guess Jeans ads all the time. A couple years later, we have Miss Schiffer here. How you doing, Victoria? Welcome to the show. All right, Dawn, you be right back. Thanks for popping in. Let's just get this into... Actually, we could keep the same category, right? Clothing? Yep. Yes, we can. So we'll just put Guess as our brand. And model Claudia Schiffer, I think. Yeah, look at that. I guess it's supposed to be recipes, cooking in the kitchen of love, as they say. What would you guys put? I can't quite make out what's written on that book. Let's see if we could blow it up and find out. Cucina all'Italia. All'Italia? Cucina all'Italia? Italian cookbook? Ming. Yeah, that's Claudia. In the kitchen, cookbook. That's Enzo. If he's low rise, says Susan. There you go. Let's put the words that, let's see. Kitchen, cookbook, and then Susan bringing in the fashion sense with the low-rise jeans. Why not? I like it. Could even be acid wash potentially. Let's see. It's hard to tell because it's black and white picture. Is that an acid wash? Could be an acid wash. Hip huggers, says CJ. Could be. Denim, sure. Greg coming up. CJ says no. Denim for the win because it gets us right to 80. Thank you for that. Trust me, folks. If this ad sells, it's not good because the jeans, really. You know what I mean? It's because of the model, probably. And the whole campaign was just so popular with Guess Jeans. So that's a good one. That's a new one that I never would have had previously before we got this newer magazine. So, boom. I think that's a couple of ringers right there. Back to back. Dizzy Gillespie and Claudia Schiffer. I just realized that banner is still down below me, so let me get rid of that. There we go. This gives more real estate on the screen for listing. All right. Crop top, says Victoria. I think that was just a bra, actually. But we'll see. All right. Are there any other clothing items? I don't think so. Oh, here's one. I had to refer to Mrs. Flip. Miss Flippett would be, this is high school for Mrs. Flippett, being 9 years younger than me. So I asked her, Mrs. Flippett, I said, are you familiar with this? She's also a movie buff, and she used to work, she was a manager in like a video store for a while, around this time, actually, maybe a little older. And I just asked if she'd ever heard of this. And again, for you guys, have you heard of Basket Case or Basket Case 2? It's a flick coming out. She said it's like a B-rated horror movie. I'm not familiar with it. I'm not a movie guy at all, so I completely defer to anybody who might know the movie, might know if it was a flop, or if it was good. And I've sold many a movie advertisement like this for famous movies. And they sell really well. You know, when the issues that are current for like a new movie coming out and it's a legendary movie, it often will sell. All right, Mark. Yeah, no problem, man. Is it dinner time? Nor have I, CJ. Nor have I. Thanks for stopping in, Mark. Stay well. You remember we owned video stores. Did you really, Maria? Yeah, my wife used to manage a video store. So that's why I asked her. She knows every movie, good, bad, and indifferent. Basket Case 2 film, we'll put. Assume, obviously, it looks like it's a horror movie. Yeah, she said it's like a B horror movie or something. Movie memorabilia, ads, and flyers. There you go. Bam. Dawn has returned it. Thank you, Dawn. Do I have a movie? Yeah, movie star and films category. Boom. There we go. Original. US of A. That's all we have to do. Look how simple. All right, Basket Case 2, look who's back. I'll blow this up if we could see all the, the star-studded affair. Exactly, Victoria. I was actually going to bring that up, but thank you. I was going to say, being the time of year on a horror movie, I would almost always put Halloween, whether it actually refers to Halloween or not. So a very, very good call, Victoria. I agree 1,000,000%. You don't recognize any. Okay, you already jumped the gun. I was just going to pull up the blow this one up so we could, take a look at the bottom of the credits and stuff to see if it's anybody of note. And no. The Kevin Van Hentenryck? Catherine Mizell. For some reason, that name sounds familiar, but I wouldn't know if I walked into her. Yeah, even like the producers and stuff. Nobody of note, right, folks? The Sapphire Glickenhaus Entertainment Corporation. Yeah. But again, for a B-movie guy or gal, collects this stuff, it must have been successful if they have a number 2. Basket Case 1, legendary film. So do you guys suggest, to Victoria's point, absolutely, I'm going to put Halloween right in there and up towards the front too. I might put B horror. Should I put B horror film? They made a Basket Case 3, so it must have been successful, right, CJ? How would you guys word this? Is it like B horror movie, something like that? Really? Because this is 90 and it's Basket Case 2. So they did 2 films in a year. They released 2 in the same year. It's February of 90, so it's probably 80. Obviously, it was filmed in 88 or 89. B rated. 3 and 91. Oh, okay. Yeah, this one was a 90, which is what the magazine is. Double Jiminy Dust just sold ads for Desert in Las Vegas and banned deodorant. Talk about personal care products. Way to go, Craig. Just a B movie. Okay. So should I put B horror movie or horror? B horror movie, I think I'll put. Or should we put B movie horror? How would you guys word this? Again, I completely defer to you because I know nothing of these movies. It was a horror comedy. Okay. Just what reads better? Horror. Again, I have to remember, and again, practice what I preach. I'm not trying to create a sentence here, but I find myself doing that, right? Like, what makes more sense? Horror B movie or B movie horror flick? Yeah, there you go. Exactly, Greg, or flick. But it really doesn't have to make sense. It's which one do I think is, these are just keywords. I think horror would rate higher, right? B movie flick. I like flick. Susan digging that one. Schlock? What is schlock? And welcome, Hydron. Willkommen. Greg, yes. B-movie horror flick. Should we lay it out like that? I could do that. What the heck? B-movie horror flick. Is schlock a hybrid of like comedy and horror, Hydron? If so, I'd be delighted to throw it in. It means trash. Okay. It was a horror comedy, and I think it defines the genre now. Schlock. Schlock meaning cheap or inferior goods. Oh, it's Yiddish? I should have known that. Low budget horror movie. I like it. I'm going to use it. If it's like its own little realm. Appreciate that, Hydron. We'll throw it in. All right, pretty cool. So let's see what happens with this one. You must admit some unique ads in this episode tonight. Unique stuff. Which is kind of fun to do something a little bit different. All righty. Rolling them. What was that, number 4 or 5, I guess, done already? Okay, that's the only film. You can see we have a bunch of double pages, like 2 or 3 double pages. Let's go Absolute with Andy Warhol. Absolute vodka. You sell schlock. Yeah. I know some of us have a chock full of schlock in our stores. You just joined, and this is the first thing you see. That's funny, Hydron. Yeah. It's different. It's a different. And welcome to the show. I'm glad you joined. Just to catch you up to speed, Hydron, and anybody else who might be stopping in for the first time in a few minutes, we are working with an issue of a Rolling Stone magazine. First time listing a Rolling Stone magazine. It was just my own magazine. I had in a file, like in a box for years, from February of 1990. So we are dabbling into the 90s for the first time ever on my show, or me with print ads in general. It's my first 90s print ads I've ever listed, and my first Rolling Stone magazine. And so far, so good, right? Some interesting stuff. Traditional stuff. You got, like I said in the beginning of the show, for those who were here, you got your cigarette ads, you got your car ads, you got your booze ads. But like this is a booze ad, but it's got the Warhol connection, which makes it cooler. So pretty cool. Unique stuff. Schlock films, which I had never even heard of. And there's our Absolute. You know, it wouldn't be a listing show, a print ad listing show, without some booze ads. Okay, so there's Absolute, multicolor, original, print ad. Here we go, 90, and US of A. All right, Andy. Warhol. Artist. Let's pull this one up. Take a look. Country of Sweden. This superb vodka Absolute Warhol. And there's the signature up there. Obviously not a real signature. Oh boy, I could retire with this one if it was a real one. But it's a a copy of a signature by the man himself. New store name is Schlockjock. Yeah, Schlocks are us. If you're a clothing seller, shoes and schlocks. Endless amounts of humor we could derive from this one term. Schlocks them out of you. That was a stretch. All right, so this is if Hydron is saying that this is cool, I agree. This is a cool looking advert, I must say. What should we put? Colorful, maybe? I don't know. Come on, Susan. Yes, give me some words here. Give me some cool keywords. And Victoria, and Dawn, and CJ, and Greg, and everybody, and Keith, everybody else who's watching. It's your show. Fill the chat with groovy keywords we could use. Shut up, you schlock. Alcohol, says Maria. Getting it right back to its basics. Booze. 40% ABV. Booze, says Hydron, just as I said it. Cool. Sure. Get the Warhol in there. Oh, yeah, I did right there. Andy Warhol artist I put right after the word print ad. That's kind of, I almost want to put that before Absolute, quite frankly, but we have to have Absolute because it's an Absolute advertisement. Yep, absolutely. Keith is doing some serious multitasking, watching me on the screen, and the baseball game on another. Yeah, the Mets are off tonight. That's why I'm doing the show. No surprise. They're back on tomorrow, back at Shea, even though it's not Shea anymore, but I still call it Shea. Back in New York tomorrow night. Open up a can of schlock on them, on those Dodgers. Bastards. Bottle illustration. Maybe. Inga dinga durgan. I was going to say like colorful. I don't know. Artwork. Maria says art. And maybe artwork. Artwork. Alcohol, why not, right? Signature. Susan just. And fuego, as they say in the hood. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. All right, that's good. The key here is it's absolute and it's Andy Warhol. That's what matters in this ad. Everything else is kind of fluff, but it's always fun to add some stuff. Oh, I almost forgot to put my used in there. All right. There's another one. Art print ad. Yep, I got art in there. I got print ad in there. Unique piece, though. Very unique piece. So you've got artwork, artist, Warhol. Let's see if we have any more booze ads. I don't remember. Oh, might not, actually. Which is kind of strange. If we don't have any more, I don't think we do. Oh, yeah, there we do. We got the vodka right above it. You got Finlandia. Vodka of Finland. And we'll have to pull that up. Sean somebody, Finlandia. Sheet music there. Finlandia vodka. So what we're going to do on this one is switch out. Absolute for Finlandia. Finlandia. I got to get it out of the, there we go. Get it out of the absolute category. That's why I wouldn't let me switch it. Other distillery, that's fine. And now we should be able to go back in and put in Finlandia. Print ad. Why that always changes, who knows? Heaven only knows. Okay, let's pull this one up, see what's going on. Classic finish. Is that Gene? I think it's Gene, right? Gene Sibelius? Would that be some like legendary Finnish classical musician? Sheet music scrolls going in. Absolutely. Goes without saying. Import. That's a nice. That's a handsome looking bottle, isn't it? Like the etched glass kind of makes it look like ice, I guess. You got the dueling deer, caribou, whatever the heck they are. What's up, William? How you doing? Welcome to the show. S, says William. Indeed. Indeed, indeed. Distilled from grain, product of Finland. Dueling deers, I guess. Maybe even reindeer up there, right? The song on that ad is a song called A Song of Peace, per the Google. Okay, I'll believe it. Why not? Gene Sibelius. We know anything about Mr. Sibelius? Like, is this an old classical guy? Is this a contemporary guy? Pleasure to have you. Thanks so much for coming in. We are listing print ads tonight from Rolling Stone issue from 1990. The newest ads I've ever listed. Fighting Stags. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. But sheet music is going there. Finnish composer. Okay, perfect. I'm just curious if you guys looked it up or if you know, is because I'm, as you see, you can see what I'm looking at. I'm not looking this up. Is he like a classical, like, you know, like a Beethoven of Finland or something? Or is it like a more contemporary person? I know nothing of this Jean Sibelius. Perhaps I should. I'm not saying I'm proud I don't know who this is. I'm just saying I don't. Sheet music, scroll. I love fighting stags. What a cool term. Composer. Like if he's somebody of note, I'll throw that name in there. Like I'll just put it Sibelius. Susan looked it up. Okay. Finnish composer. Classical composer from the 1800s. Thank you, ladies, very much. Sibelius. If we could fit him, S-I-B. No, we won't be able to. We might have to lose fighting stags. But let's let not your heart be troubled. Hold on. Sibelius. How about stag fight? Home of reindeer. Thank you, Karen. I'm so saying Susan. Thank you, Karen. Reindeer fight? We can't fit it. How about just reindeers? That's chock full of keywords, wouldn't you say? You got the product, you got sheet music, you got the composer Sibelius, and you got reindeers. Good night, Jeff. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate it. Hope to see you on the next one. Classic finish. And thanks to everybody for coming in with these fantastic keywords. I do appreciate it. The plural of reindeer. What I put reindeers? Did I? Yeah, I did. Reindeer is the plural. I will fix that. Thank you. You know how many times I have to watch my own shows and go back to fix things that people catch after I've already hit enter? I appreciate all the critiques very much. I am but one man. All right. Okay, that spells the end of the booze. Do we have any cigarettes? We have the big camel thing, which I'll show you, like I said. All right, let's go to the... Where do we go? Let's go to Agassi. Ray-Bans. Is Ray-Ban one word or two words? You saved CJ some valuable keystrokes there by pointing out the fact that reindeer is plural. Ray-Ban sunglasses. Accessories, sure, why not? Mullet. Which all of a sudden everybody's wearing again. My daughter's boyfriend, who's like 23, has a mullet now. Everything old is new again, folks. Everything everybody makes fun of winds up coming around again. I see a lot of kids with mustaches, like porn mustaches, just a mustache that they would have made fun of 6 months ago, but now they're all wearing them. It's so funny. There's only so many looks you could have, so they all seem to come back over time, don't they? Ray-Ban with a dash. Thing about eBay, though, they don't like the dashes. Like, it's kind of a wasted space. So I think I'll just put a space in between. Like Lego is the plural. Ain't no S at the end. There you go. All right. I lost my place. Where am I going? Clothing? I'll put it in clothing. Even though it's not really clothing, but that's just between us. All right. So let's put Ray-Ban. I'm just going to put two words. 90. Yeah, it's hyphenated, but I don't know if that really works with eBay. We could look that up too. I understand it is as written. Andre. Tennis player. Sporting the Nike t-shirt with the Ray-Bans on. You've inspired me to buy the call trimmer. Best money I've spent. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah, it's a game changer, man. It really is. It's nice and big, accommodates every single piece of paper I've ever thrown at it, and I agree, it's money well spent. So I'm very, very glad to know that you enjoy it, William. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, Dawn loves it too. It is fantastic. It really is. Yep, exactly, Dawn. It's so funny. All right, Hydra, no problem. I appreciate you coming in. You made a quick but substantial impact, so thank you very much, Hydra. Guten Abend. We'll have to catch up back with the German stuff. I'm making a lot of progress. I'm learning how to discuss the weather now in German in my teachings, my studies, I should say. All right. What else? Anything else? Ooh, by Bausch and Lomb. I guess we got to put that in there, don't we? I think we should. So I open up email for no reason. Sorry about that. I got to learn how to spell Bausch. B-A-U-S-H? B-A-U-S-C-H? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, here it is. B-A-U-S-C-H. Put that in there. B-A-U-S-C-H. Ampersand. L-A-U-M. Nope. L-O-M-B. Couldn't be more wrong there. Yeah, LOMB, exactly. I had LAUM too for some reason. Kind of like said it phonetically, right? Try to spell it phonetically. You sell your Coca-Cola ads with a hyphen? I don't think there's any harm in putting them in, but I'm not sure that there's anything good that can come of it either. I seem to recall reading articles that anything short of an actual character, like not a character, anything short of alpha and numeric characters are basically nothing from the perspective of the eBay robot. And it's kind of like a waste of a tick. But if it makes you happy to put the thing in and be grammatically correct, I'm all for that too. But I think Ray-Ban, like I have it written, would suffice. I also think if I just put RAYBAN consecutively with maybe the capital B, it would be fine. But that's a whole other thing that we could, discuss and study. But I'm pretty sure like anything that's outside of, like I said, alphanumeric characters are pretty much like a waste of space, and eBay doesn't recognize it and potentially could actually clog up, or cause the algorithm to misread. So I just avoid all that stuff if I can. I'm glad everybody digs the trimmer. Okay, I think that's good for this one, right? Why not? William has a question for anyone who processes a lot of glued magazine spines. Yes, have you tried a professional cutter to remove the entire spine in one go? Wow, that would record. Yeah, you would need a professional because it would be so thick. I have a video out there, William. I think I have a video out there. What I do typically is because I have many of those, I just heat the side of the spine, the outside, with basically a hair dryer. Don't get too close because you don't want to like burn the paper. But if you just like kind of go up and down gently the spine with a heat source of some kind, a heat gun or a hair dryer for a few minutes, usually it loosens up the glue sufficiently that you can, carefully take out the paper. But I'm sure they do have like an industrial strength hatchet style cutter that you can just go shoom. I would love that. Somebody finds one of those. If you want to know what I'd like for Christmas, give me one of those. And since we have an other Agassi ad, might as well do the two of them. And this one's a 2-pager, so I'm going to put 2-page. And we'll talk about how we word that and change our listing slightly when we have 2-page ads. Okay. This one is for a sneaker, Nike Air. So we're just going to change. Actually, it's probably the same category. So we'll just change this to Nike. And what I do is I put down here, I put 2-page in the title, as you see. Oh, were you really? It takes a little time. That's really all there is to it. There's no magical technique. You just continuously kind of go up and down the length of the spine. Even that could get a little tiring, I know. But if you lay it flat, kind of, maybe like if you have a desk surface, you lay it flat on the desk, maybe you take it off like an inch or so and just kind of go back and forth with the hair dryer or whatever. It usually works 5 minutes or so. 2 separate pages is what I put in this, just so everybody knows, unless it's a true centerfold, which does happen once in a while. But the majority of the double page ads wind up being 2 pages, at least for mine stuff. 2-pager gets more money. And this is your grandmother. Let's see what the joke is here. Not the best job of my editor here with combining these 2 pages, but what are you going to do? Air Tech Challenge 2. Whatever tennis used to be, it ain't now. It ain't conservative. It ain't traditional. It ain't your grandmother. It's performance. It's Agassi. It's the Air Tech Challenge. So we got to change Air Tech Challenge because I did not put that. Air Tech Challenge 2, right? I guess Air Tech was 2 words. Let's see. Dejected Tomato. What a hysterical name. Welcome to the show. You're new to my channel. Well, thank you very much for coming in. You sell similar items. Cool. I hear you mention a call cutter. Do you have more details? I have a link below Dejected Tomato, or DT, if I may be so humble to call you. Right below in the description, I have a link. That's going to take you to a US listing. I'm sure there's something comparable on the UK if you use Amazon on the UK or any other selling sites. There should be a link right below. So if you look at the description section in my video, you'll see it. But it's called the Carl paper trimmer. Excuse me. Let me scroll on my other screen so I can look at the link really quickly. But it's a phenomenal product. It really is, truly, and it's a great time saver. Carl 18-inch paper trimmer. If you'd like, I'll put the US link in the chat for you, and then just take a look and see if there's something comparable over on the UK site. Hopefully there is. Yeah, it's a great nickname. I like Dejected Tomato. You know what? I'm sorry, the characters are too long. Well, anyway, check out the link below. I tried to put the link in. I'd have to use like a URL shortener. It's too long to fit in the comment here on YouTube. But Carl 18-inch paper trimmer is the item, and there is a link right below. So hopefully there's something over on the UK for you that is comparable. But it is a wonderful, wonderful device. You just found the link. Very good. And welcome aboard. Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. It's like 1 a.m. in the UK, so thank you for staying up to watch the show. I really do appreciate it. If you're just chiming in, we're listing some print ads from a Rolling Stone magazine from 1990, the newest magazine I've ever listed, ever, and certainly on this show, on a listing show. We usually do like 40s and 50s and earlier. So this is like brand new. Alrighty, I think that's good, right? Although Susan E.S. did put shoes in there. Yeah, I don't really have any indication that it's shoes. You're going through some Vogue magazines. Very good. I'll put tennis star, and then we'll put shoes. Look at that. Look at that. We should put shoes up front, shouldn't we? Shoes. And of course, I screw up my... Make this numeric, I guess. Why not? Put 2-page. And away we go. Yeah, hopefully you'll have some interesting stuff there, DT. All right, let's list that one. We really are whistling through these. We're only like an hour and 10 minutes into the show, and we didn't start listing until almost 8:30, right? 8:25, something like that. Alrighty, I guess we should, since we have 2-page set up, let's try to find another 2-page. I'm pretty sure we have another 2-page ad. I think we have a car ad, right? Yep, we have two car ads. Tennis one is gone. Let's do this one first. TDK cassette tapes. Did you, Dawn? Good for you. Congratulations. TDK cassette tapes. 2-page. It's a cool ad. Cool looking ad. That is one long category suggestion, but that's not really what we're listing. We have advertising. Any music advertisements? Yes. Trying to find I don't know. This seems like there should be a better category to throw this in. Maybe there isn't. Like if there was an audio tape advertising, that's where that would live. All right, we'll just put another collectible. Yes, Dawn, do tell about the details. Was it a real photo? Let's see what I have music and I have media. I guess I'll put media for my proprietary store category. TDK is the brand. It is a print ad. Don't ask me why my nose is suddenly all stuffed up. Might be the change of weather here. Dejected Tomato, tuned in late. They might think that you're in a Beatle cover band. Gee. Something I might know a thing or two about, Greg. GTK cassettes. Some love the fact that SA audio cassettes feature ultrafine super Avalon particles that deliver perfect reproduction of CDs. Some just love the music. So what are you going to put here? Young hooligans in the car. We're going to put Continental. Continental is the new that's the new RPPC. Continentals are suddenly becoming hot, just like mustaches and long hair again. Exactly convertible, says Susan. Yes, we're going convertible. What should we put? Teens? You're actually listing your Continentals and they're selling all right. Yeah, I know. That used to be the black sheep of the postcard community, but suddenly they're becoming in vogue. It's crazy to see. Yeah, definitely check out Blue Feather, great channel. Like-minded individuals, along with William, along with the Dejected Tomato. We're all ephemera family, after all. Cartoons, music. What do you think, Susan? Anything else? This one I don't need. As expensive, though. Do you really, Don? That's crazy. And so it goes, huh? Yeah, which isn't a ton, right? But when they do sell. I don't always sell postcards, but when I do, they tend to be Continentals suddenly. All right, I think that's a good enough title for that one. Another nice ad. I'll try to last a few more minutes. It's like all of a sudden I'm blowing up with my nose here. What's going on, folks? Do I have another 2-pager? I might. Okay. All right, you know what we're going to do? I just want to show everybody before we go to the next item, because I'm not going to list this in print ads, but let me show you how this came. It's for a Camel cigarette. It's like a pullout. Check this out. This is how it is in the magazine, right? It's made to look like an envelope. And there's this like little white piece of paper at the bottom. And it's a foldable poster that's in perfect condition. So it says, from one smooth character to another, personal. And then when you open this guy up, look at this. I had to do it on the floor. That's how big it is. It's a 28-inch long by 20-inch wide poster. You can see the creases there, but literally brand new. And you can see, excuse the lousy lighting because I threw it on the floor so there's a reflection, but you have a bunch of coupons for smoking, the classic Camel cigarette, Camel filters. You got the chick with the Corvette. You got the nondescript city skyline with a sunset and a palm tree. Smooth character. And that is the front of the poster. Isn't it cool? I bet you this sells for decent money, honestly. And then that's the back of the poster, which I put vertically, but you could spin it around. See, that's how it folds out. There's the front and back of the, little brown bag. And there's what's inside, which looks like the back of the poster. So it's really neat. It's really neat. I think this will do well. I like the way this looks, and it's definitely not a print ad, but it's a full-blown big old poster. It's almost a 2-foot poster by 20 inches and in pristine condition. So hopefully, I'm sure there are some Camel collectors out there. Where are your toes? Yeah, I know. You know what bugged me about this? I hate the fact that this is, you see how it's like a little off? But hopefully, in the interest of getting the whole thing captured, I just kind of put it on the floor, and I made best efforts to make it straight. But hopefully the image is good enough. And yeah, what happened exactly? Rhymes with Orange, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Yeah, what happened to Camel cigarettes? I don't know. Are they out? The classic, the Camel guy. What's his name? He's probably got a name. But I mean, this was iconic. Long before this, he used to be in the 30s and 40s in Times Square. There was always a big camel, like on the billboard, and it used to have smoke coming out of it. It was like this amazing thing to see. Dejected Tomato, Joe Camel. Correct, Susan. Thank you. You get so many cigarette adverts, but you don't risk putting them on eBay as they could get pulled. I've never had an issue once in my life, DT. Maybe it's different in UK, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with listing cigarette ads here in the US. That's for sure. I have hundreds of them listed. I've sold tons of them, especially Marlboro. That's like the most popular one. Joe Camel is right. It's so right that we're going to have to put Joe Camel in the title, by the way. But yeah, I wonder if that's just a regional thing, potentially. You relist the 5-year Coke ads without the hyphen to test the theory. There you go. I like that, Victoria. And somebody bought 5. That happens with me once in a while, too, Dawn. Yeah, they'll come in and swoop through, especially if it's like an off-brand, let's say, and they'll go in and they'll buy all of them. Used to collect the Camel coupons to get cool stuff. Very cool, Rhymes with Orange. In the UK, they get banned. That's crazy. Yeah, we don't have that, thankfully. I have tons of cigarette ads. I mean, they're just so common, obviously, everywhere. And this is a 90, and they're still doing cigarette ads. So you'll still see cigarette ads in magazines now, actually. I don't think there's any ban on them. You just always have to have that caveat that they cause cancer and kill people. But which it's so funny to see how that first it was reluctantly put on there. Surgeon General says smoking may be hazardous to your health, and they kept changing the wording to the point now where it says smoking kills you or something to that effect. I have never smoked either. Rhymes with Orange. I've never even tried a cigarette in my life. Never had any desire. I've always despised smoking. Both of my parents smoked like chimneys when I grew up. I had a severe case of pneumonia when I was 6, and I spent a month in the hospital during the height of my parents smoking. And when I came out of the hospital on my 7th birthday, my mom, who was only 27 years old, she had me when she was 20, and even at 27, she'd already been smoking for probably 15 years already, stopped cold turkey for me. So I've always despised smoking, never had any interest in trying a cigarette. But anyway, I thought this was a really cool piece. Kind of snuck up on me because this is how it looked in the magazine. And I thought it was just like that was the ad. I was like, oh, man, this thing pulls out. So we will definitely check that out and list it. Let's do that's 3 of these. So really there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 or 6 ads left. Yep, never smoked either. Yeah, thank you. Exactly. Thank God. Well, before we go blessing Mom, I mean, yeah, sure, let's bless Mom. She stopped. This was in 74. She stopped cold turkey. She didn't smoke from 74 until 1983. She was working. She went to a Christmas party, was offered a cigarette, I'm just going to have a puff, started smoking again in 83. But by then I was in high school and I was fine. I was used to it. Everybody smoked, as you know, probably, right? And it wasn't as much as a thing. And she was very considerate in the house at that point. And then a few years later, I was grown and out anyway. But that was a sin. She started smoking again, like just literally from a Christmas party, the temptation of one cigarette. It's amazing that it has a grip on people like that. But apparently it does. My little sister, who's 2 years younger than me, has never stopped smoking. And she's been smoking since she's about 12 or 13. So she's been smoking over 40 years at this point, which is horrible. Smoked for a decade and wasted a small fortune. Yeah, sorry. Well, again, you're not alone. Everybody used to smoke. I mean, it's no crime. Everybody did it, except for me and Rhymes with Orange. And Greg smoked for 28 and quit for 13. Well, good for you. They say your body starts healing the first day you stop smoking. So your lungs, I should say. Yeah, thank God. It's just a habit I never had any interest in at all. Not in the slightest. William has been listing German cigarette ads from the 30s. Maybe one day he'll even sell one. Yeah, the yin and yang of listing is that, at some point you hope to sell some. And you will. You definitely will. I saw Marlboro ad, the classic Marlboro Man ad that you see all over the place. I'm going to close this out, folks. we'll just chat. Marlboro sells all the time. It's probably the most popular cigarette brand that I sell. And I'm not saying they sell on a daily basis, far from it, but I'll sell a couple a month. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I do appreciate it. I almost forgot to save my drafts. I'm just fading a little bit here. We're about an hour and a half in on the show. Hope you guys had fun. I'll try to come back on Friday. Maybe I'll pick out some new. I love doing the listening shows. It's kind of a hybrid where we talk a little bit, we listen a little bit. Let me pull the comments back up. Sorry. And I can turn off this computer. Victoria sells a lot of Marlboro ads. Cool. Just shut this down. Oops, sorry again with the microphone, guys. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Thank you, Maria. Fun show. Thank you, Susan. Appreciate it, guys. It seems quick, but it's an hour and a half. That's not too bad, right? You got your money's worth. Dejected Tomato, one of the coolest names ever. DT. You find movie ads are selling best for you the moment? You don't say. Movie ads. Did you just come in, Dejected Tomato, a few minutes ago? Because we actually listed a movie ad earlier in the show. So if you weren't watching, you can go back and watch the replay. But we listed a B-rated horror flick, movie advertisement for a B-rated horror flick, maybe an hour ago, maybe a little less than an hour ago. So go check that out. Movie ads, yeah, they sell too. And the amazing thing about the print ads is, based on the age of the magazine, right? You could find magazines that have like The Wizard of Oz, being promoted as a new movie, or like Name Your Film, Casablanca, the new film coming out, and things like that. So those things, even more recent, like Star Wars, or any iconic famous movie, Gone with the Wind, Godfather, you'll see ads for those upcoming films in these old magazines, and it's so cool to see that kind of stuff. And I am sure those things would fly off the shelf. So if you could find like a legendary film like those that we just mentioned, probably be a really good seller for you. But yeah, even lesser known films, obviously the film industry, there's a lot of film buffs, a lot of movie buffs out there, so they'd be interested in collecting those for sure. Thank you, Maria. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Karen. Thanks for coming in as always. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Caught Alive. Yeah, me too, William. Thanks for coming in. This was a little bit of a quicker one, but I'll probably be back on Friday night. So hopefully if you're free on Friday, you can pop in. Excellent, DT. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I don't know that it's allergies. I don't have allergies, Victoria. That's the strange thing about it, but my nose just got all stuffed up all of a sudden. Maybe I'm getting allergies. Who knows? Who the heck knows? You picked up a 1911 Cosmo mag for $1. I say that's a buck well spent. Hopefully you make a small fortune out of that buck investment. Thank you so much, Susan, for all your help tonight. You've been wonderful with all the groovy keywords and all the help. So again, guys, thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate it on an off night on a Tuesday evening. It's about 8:30 p.m. here on the East Coast of the US of A, and I will see you on Friday. Look out. I'll make a post with the exact time and all that, but should see you all on Friday night. Have a great week. Thanks.